Okay, we're going to start in a seat. So if you can get yourself elevated on a cushion or bolster, you will need a cushion, bolster, a strap. I've got dressing gown cord, I've got a yoga strap or a belt or a long sleeve t-shirt that you can wrap around your foot for later. And I always have my blocks just in case. So getting yourself comfortable in a seat and closing down the eyes. And just instantly drop your awareness down into the movement of the belly as you breathe in and out. And I want you to really allow the belly to be soft and full so that there's no holding or contracting in the belly. So no need to add additional pressure or contraction as you breathe out and draw the belly back. Just allow the breath to escape and the belly to be really soft. So absolutely no effort or control of the way the belly moves as you breathe, just simply having your awareness watching the body move under the breath. Moving you through a practice that really focuses on the navel center, Manipura chakra, or the solar plexus, for the purpose of really nourishing the digestive system. So there's going to be a lot of twisting and forward folds in our practice tonight, as a way to really wring out and compress and nourish the belly, targeting the stomach and the liver and the intestines. In yoga, we call our digestive fire Agni. It's the fire that burns through and alchemizes and assimilates our food at a physiological level. And energetically awakening Shakti or power in this energy center. When Kundalini Shakti awakens in our solar plexus, in our Manipura chakra, it's called Rudrani. We're going to begin by sensing, seeing, visualizing, imagining an almond-shaped flame about the size of your thumb tip, resting right in the center of your belly. It's okay if you can't visualize or see it, just have the intention of sensing the warmth of this almond-shaped flame resting in the very middle of your torso, in the center of your solar plexus, the center of your central energy and fire system. Fire alchemizes, it completely changes things from one thing to another. In the context of yoga and particularly our energy body, the things we are alchemizing and transmuting and assimilating and changing, transforming, are the vibrations and the thoughts, feelings, the limitations of the lower mind. Anything that holds us back from remembering that we are an expansive, divine, gracious being, capable of the unimaginable. We use these practices of meditating on fire to visualize the fire burning through the ghosts of our past, our fears, our worries, our doubts, our shame, anything that carries a low, dense vibration. Bring it into the fire, alchemize it, and we turn it into the essence of fire, which is light. Luminous, all-pervading light. It's what we bow to at the end of every yoga practice when we say namaste. That the light within me sees and honors the light within you. This light that is so pure, and powerful, and capable, where there are no limitations, only the highest vibration, qualities of love, loving kindness, compassion, empowerment, courage. As you take your next breath in, as you breathe in, imagine this little almond-shaped flame resting in the belly, starting to get a little bit bigger, perhaps now as big as your fist. And on your next breath in, the flame grows to be about the size of a basketball. So that this flame now fills up the whole belly area. And every time you breathe in, the flame expands, filling up the whole inside of your body. Warming yourself up from the inside. And imagining this flame has the capacity to burn through, to assimilate and process, to alchemize and transform anything within your cells that is not the vibration of loving kindness, love, compassion, joy. That is not the essence of light, that is dense in vibration, that holds the qualities of the lower mind. We're using the breath to expand the flame, to expand the fire within, to burn through and alchemize anything that we no longer need. And when you've filled your whole inner landscape up with your flame, as the flame starts to penetrate through the skin and starts to come to the external layers of the skin, it turns into light. It turns into its essence of light. So that as you take your next breath in, a field of light, an orb of light penetrates through your skin, through the entire body, and encases you in a circle, an orb, a vortex of your own light, so that you are encased in this bubble of your own inner essence. Give yourself 2 more breaths to bathe in this. And bring your awareness back to the almond-shaped flame in the solar plexus, knowing that the flame never dims. It's always there, even when you have transformed it into something much more pure. Give yourself a big breath in. And let all the breath go. Extend your legs out. We're going to come into a soft variation of a yogi squat. We're going to stay seated on the bolster or cushion and simply take your feet out in front of you, wider than your hips, so that they're grounded down onto the floor. Rest your elbows on your knees. You're going to curl through the spine a little bit so that you collapse through the belly and drop your chin to your chest. Allow your belly to be really soft here, so that as you breathe in, you feel the belly swell between the upper thighs. And you just let the breath escape as you breathe out. It's so important to look after our digestive health at a physical level, because it plays such a vital role in our overall health and well-being. The gut-brain connection is so significant that so much research and science to suggest that the gut itself holds more wisdom than the brain, although the brain controls and neurologically gifts us the capacity to have life. That the subtle chemical processes and the hormones that exist within the gut, the microbes, and our gut microbiome is so important and so valuable, that to live a healthy, thriving life, we need to focus on our gut well-being over anything else. Not least because it releases our happy hormones, our serotonin and dopamine, and we are fueling our body with poor food choices. We're impacting on our capacity for our gut to
complete its hormonal processes in a way that nourishes us rather than depletes us. Just 2 more breaths here.
And then you'll slowly rise up. Just bring the shoulders back over the hips to a straight spine. If you need to, roll through and stretch out the neck after being curled forward. And then we're going to come and lay on our back. Just enjoy the legs stretching out straight after being crossed, and then continue to be flexed at the hips and knees. Take both hands onto the belly. Feeling the belly rise and fall as you breathe in and out. We're going to come into our first twist, laying here flat on our back. If you have a strap, you're going to place it around the ball of the foot. Just straighten the leg up towards the ceiling to begin with. Just a little opportunity to stretch out through the back of the leg, especially after being flexed for so long in your seat. Just give yourself 5 breaths here with your legs stretched up towards the sky. Then we're going to come into a twist, and that leg's going to come over to the left side. So you have your right leg up towards the sky. You're going to take the straps, both straps, into the left hand. So the right hand's going to stay down on the floor. And you're going to roll your right leg over to find the floor on the left side. If that's too far and you don't have the range of motion through the twist, you can take cushions and support underneath your right leg and then plug the right shoulder back down to the floor. We're getting a twist, but we're also just stretching into and opening out through the legs and the hip as well. You do want to find a space where you can completely surrender and rest in the pose rather than holding the leg and suspending the leg up in the air. So use as much support there as you need to. And if all of that's feeling too complicated and too much, then just go into an easy twist where you can let go of the strap And just simply bend both of your knees, stack them one on top of the other, and just stay in the twist with your knees to your left. Making sure that both shoulders are connected to the floor. And focus on the belly rising and falling. Nourishing the belly now in this twist, really particularly through the liver and the stomach in this particular position and on this side. Final breath here. Come back onto your back. Release the strap. Stretch both legs out onto the floor. Hands back onto your belly for 3 breaths. Then roll over to your side. We're going to come into a little compression through the belly before we take that twist to the other side. So come up into a seat. If you have a block, you can take the block flat, long side and flat side and rest it into your belly and fold over the block so that you have the block compressing into your tummy. If you don't have a block, cushion or your bolster will also do the job, just it'll be less direct pressure. You can just take the long end of your bolster or whatever you've got there, press it into your belly, and you're simply folding over in just a really easy, comfortable space. You're not trying to strive to touch your feet or anything. It's really just about doming through the belly, having some pressure on the belly through the bolster or block. Drop the chin to the chest. And then as you breathe in, you'll feel the belly compress against your item. And exhale, just let everything soften. Always talking about the value and importance of maintaining healthy digestion, specifically in relation to food, because the physiology of our digestive system is to process and assimilate and eliminate waste and take on nourishment, nutrition.
But I think just as importantly, it's for us to really consider what else we're consuming, and not through our mouth and through chewing and eating and swallowing, but what information are we consuming? And of course, we all know there is a barrage of information being thrown at us, and copious amounts of information. And it's really up to us to monitor and control and be the gatekeeper to what we're choosing to consume, what information we're choosing to take in. Digitally, also in the way of conversations, the way we invest our energy in relationship. And all that comes out of that in the way of emotions, the way it makes us feel, thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors, beliefs. Mind is constantly seeking and filtering and identifying what's important to hold on to, what's irrelevant, what appears or seems dangerous, what feels safe, what feels nurturing, what doesn't. And I think for many of us, because we are so used to the overconsumption, we're not aware of the impact it's having on our nervous system and our emotional body and our mental capacity. It's not until we step away from it and have a break from it, and when we start to integrate it back in, the nervous system says, no, 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 no. So these practices are so valuable and important to help create some space, to help calm the nervous system, to help watch the thinking mind, and to empower ourselves to make conscious choices about how we invest our energy, what energy we take on, what information we consume, and how we allow that to impact on us physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. On your next breath in, you're going to rise up into a seat, and then laying down onto your back as you breathe out. And you're going to take hold of your strap if you're using it and place it over the left foot and stretch the left leg up towards the sky. Straighten out through the leg. 5 breaths just as a way to stretch out through the back of the hamstring. And then take your twist, that left leg
falling over to the right side, to the floor, or to some support on a bolster. Whatever you need to ensure that the left shoulder stays connected to the floor. If your leg comfortably rests across the body and lands onto the floor or the bolster, you don't necessarily need to keep holding the strap. Totally up to you. And just focusing on the belly, rising and falling, breathing in and out. Just taking 3 more breaths here. Then you'll roll back onto your back. Stretch both legs out onto the floor, hands onto the belly. 5 breaths. And we're going to roll over onto our tummy, and we're going to come into some deep belly compression. I'm going to use a block, and I'm going to take the block onto the front of my belly and lay over the block. You could also do it with a bolster or a cushion. If you're using the bolster, you would go horizontal across your mat and lay your belly straight over the mat. over the bolster, sorry, so that your whole tummy is compressed against the bolster. Just have your legs behind you, wherever's comfortable. And then just breathing in deeply, belly pressing against whatever you're resting on. Kind of think of this as like a trigger point for your whole digestive system. It's a bit like when you're having a massage and massage therapist presses onto a knot and holds it and triggers it. The purpose of that is that when you release it, that area gets this huge rush of blood. This big flow of circulation moves through and helps to remove any toxic waste or tension or pain. So we're just giving our tummy a nice big compression, a nice big trigger point as a way to provide some compression and then hopefully boost flow of energy and circulation and blood into the area. Just 5 more breaths here. And then roll off your bolster or block or cushion, and then just come and lay flat on your tummy with no object underneath your belly. Just give yourself 3 breaths. And make your way up into a seat.
We're going to come into, it's quite a soft twist, but still a twist. You take your bolster lengthways down the head of your mat and take your right hip against the bolster to begin with. Your right leg will be in front, so the leg closest to the bolster is in front and the left leg is back behind you. And you're going to lift up and turn so that your tummy faces the torso. You'll get a pretty decent stretch down the side of the left hip if you're tight like me. So turning your torso so that you feel this pull through the front of the belly because the hips are anchored down. And then you're going to lay your whole belly over the bolster. You have the option here of keeping your right cheek down so that your head faces the same direction as the legs. Or if you would like to deepen the twist, you can turn your head to face the other direction. Just 5 more breaths here. You'll lift yourself up and then come onto your hands and knees and lay belly down over the whole bolster so that the bolster is supporting the entire torso this time and not just across the belly. Turn the feet so that the insides of the feet and the inner knees are connected to the floor, so there's a gentle external rotation of the hips.
And allow your forehead to come down either to, I've got clenched fists, one on top of the other for my forehead to rest on. Your forehead might reach the floor quite comfortably, or perhaps onto a block or another cushion. You won't be here for too long, just a little transition space. A place to neutralize the spine, stretch out the legs. And feel that deep compression into the belly as you breathe in, resting over the bolster. Final breath here. And then you'll make your way back up into a seat. And we'll take that little seated twist pose to the other side. So bolster lengthways down the mat, left hip against the bolster, left leg in front, right leg behind you. Elevate through the spine first, rotate towards the bolster, and aiming to have the whole chest down onto the bolster. So it's quite a deep twist through, particularly through the left oblique, as you really pull yourself down, and then you can keep your left cheek on the bolster so your face is towards your knees, or deepening it, taking your head and turning it towards the left.
3 final breaths here.
And you'll come all the way down onto your back. Your feet flat on the floor, so your knees are bent, knees pointing up towards the sky. And then we're going to come into one final pose where we compress through the belly. You're going to press your hips up off the floor, or move your bolster underneath your bottom. Then you're going to draw your knees into the chest. So you come into this inverted, kind of like an inverted child's pose. You're really squeezing and anchoring the knees in towards the chest, and you get this added effort because of the gravitational pull downwards with the hips elevated compared to the heart and the head. So just hugging your knees deeply into your chest. You can hug over the top of your knees. I quite like hugging underneath here. So allow the feet to be loose and floppy. And then breathe deeply into the belly, feeling the ballooning of the belly into the upper thighs. Just 3 final breaths here. Bring your feet down to the floor, and if for a moment you need to just open up through the front of the hips after the deep compression, just straighten the legs out, stretching through the front of the hips with the glutes supported by the bolster. And then press your hips up off your support, roll your bolster down underneath your knees, and laying flat on your back with a blanket or a jumper just to make sure you stay warm. Give yourself a big breath in and breath out. Place both hands on your belly as you bring awareness to the body being breathed. A gentle reminder that you get to choose how you invest your energy and what you bring into your precious energy field. Choose wisely. Create space for yourself to be nourished in ways that you truly desire. Take a deep breath in. And let the breath go. Slowly make your way to your side. And up into a seat. Take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart. Allow yourself to feel the body breathing. Bow your head to your heart, honoring the divine light within. Namaste.